Level 2, Commit of the Muscle Building Roadmap, brought to you by Sweatsphere Fitness. My name is Josh. I'm the head coach and personal trainer for Sweatsphere Fitness, and we're just going to jump right into the roadmap. So here we are on the roadmap. We're at level 2, Commit. So we've already graduated from level 0, Improvise, and level 1, Identify, and we still have some ways to go. So that being said, let's take a look at what some common roadblocks that we might be facing at this stage and how we can graduate to the next level of our fitness journey. So taking a look at it, we're going to start off with our goal. Our goal at this stage is just going to be getting in the gym more frequently. So we're trying to commit time. Our support system at this stage, we might have some online group or basic coaching. So this could mean that you're working one-on-one with a friend, or maybe you've joined a community either on Facebook, maybe you follow some people on Instagram, or at this stage, you might already be a part of Sweatsphere Fitness. So for our training structure at this stage, some common roadblocks that we might run into is that we're doing a full beginner split, right? So a plan that's maybe 3 to 4 times a week. Now, this is okay. However, it's not personalized to your goals, and it's very common to miss days because you haven't committed the time or the effort throughout the week to actually hit those certain 3 to 4 workouts per week. Some other issues you might be running into is that you've started a structured beginner plan of like 3 to 4 times per week, but sticking to it consistently is tough. Life interruptions lead to missed sessions or rushed workouts. Motivation fades partway through the plan, especially after week 2 or 3. Showing up occasionally might feel good, but it's not enough for long-lasting results. Inconsistency makes it harder to build momentum or feel progress. So we're running into not committing enough time, but we're not having enough motivation to stay committed to our training structure. And there's a couple ways we can fix that. So in order to graduate, we need to build workout consistency into your identity, not just your schedule. So at this stage, we need to lock in a minimum standard. So commit to at least 3 workouts per week. Even short sessions count at this stage. It's all about building that momentum and making sure that you make it in the gym. Because at this stage, showing up is good, but when we show up and actually apply ourselves, that's even better. We're going to use a calendar. Mark each completed workout to build momentum and keep your streak alive. So get a physical counter, or maybe get one on your Google Doc sheet, and check off the days that you have programmed in your schedule. So if you're following a 3-day program, a 4-day program, a 5-day program, when you go through and you complete leg day, make sure you check it off and keep that somewhere that you can see it on a day-to-day basis. And you can recognize that, hey, I did that today. And keep yourself motivated. We're also going to set trigger habits. So link workouts to existing routines, like maybe post coffee or after a walk. So when you wake up in the morning and you have maybe 30 minutes or 40 minutes to take just to dedicate to doing some kind of at-home workout or maybe going to the gym, make sure you're setting your time that you go to the gym after another habit that you already do, like drinking coffee in the morning, or maybe if you go for a morning walk, you can walk to the gym, or maybe you can walk, come home, and then go drive to the gym. Whatever makes sense for you and your schedule. We're also going to plan for life happens days. So have a go-to at-home or travel workout routine to stay consistent when life gets busy. This can be something as simple as a 15-minute at-home workout using your own body weight, or it can mean that you're just going to do a little bit of extra cardio on those days that you have to skip the gym. But if we're consistently missing those days, then that turns into the inconsistency that we're running into with our roadblocks. So make sure that those days don't happen very often, but when they do happen, we have a plan. We're also going to share weekly wins with the group. So post your progress in the Sweatsphere community. Accountability makes habits stick, and the more you post, the quicker you rank up in the school, which will unlock new courses and workout routines for you to access and try out for yourself. So make sure that you're sharing your wins and victories with the community. So for our fitness focus at this stage, some common roadblocks that we're going to be running into are focusing on technique, learning mind-muscle connection. Now, that isn't a roadblock per se, but that is what we are focusing on at this stage. Now, we're going to be struggling because you've picked a goal, muscle gain, fat loss, or recomp, and finally have direction. but your actions are scattered across multiple strategies. So we might be doing cardio one day, we might be lifting weights the other day, and nothing is really consistent. Even though you're following that beginner plan, you still don't have the basics of technique, and you're still learning mind-muscle connections. We might be, like I just said, lifting one day, then doing a ton of cardio on the next day. It's inconsistent. Our nutrition might shift between bulking style of eating and dieting behaviors. So eating a ton of calories one day and then not too many calories the next day. So cutting back down, inconsistent calories. Your progress feels inconsistent because training, nutrition, recovery aren't fully aligned with your goal. So how do we fix this at this stage? So at this stage, again, we're doing all the right things, but we're not doing them in the order that's going to work for our bodies. So how do we fix this? In order to graduate, we need to align our training, nutrition, and recovery to match one primary fitness goal. So we're going to choose one goal for 8 to 12 weeks, commit to either muscle gain, fat loss, or recomposition, not all at once though. So if your goal is to build more muscle and not to lose a ton of fat, well then, if you're someone that's super lean, you're going to focus on building a ton of muscle, and it's okay to build maybe 1-2% more body fat as you're bulking. If your goal is to lose fat or do a recomp, which is very similar to do, you can build muscle and lose fat at the same time. Your goal should be hitting either maintenance calories or be in a deficit. So make sure that you're sticking to those nutrition needs and training needs so that way you're hitting your goals consistently. And just like I said, we're going to match the style of training for your goal. So lift heavy and rest more for muscle growth. Use circuits and short rests for fat loss. Now, a lot of people will say that, you just need to build muscle in order to lose weight. And that is the case for long-term growth. So lifting heavy and resting more is ideal for most people when they want to build and maintain good muscle mass. However, doing circuit routines and having short rests in between that is really good for beginners that are trying to lose weight, because as a beginner, it's very easy to put on muscle mass just doing some kind of activity, whether that means you're doing functional style of training, whether that means you're doing a lot of at-home circuit style push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, stuff like that. You're still going to build muscle from this. Once you stop seeing results from these circuit style of training with short rest periods is when you've graduated to the stage of being able to lift heavier and rest more. Doing circuit style of training with short rest is also really good because it improves your cardiovascular abilities. We're also going to sync our nutrition with training. Use a surplus for muscle gain or a deficit for fat loss. Track and adjust consistently. Now for muscle growth, we don't always have to be in a surplus. We can eat at maintenance and still build muscle, especially if we are at higher body fat percentage. And if we are trying to lose body fat at the same time, we also need to either eat at maintenance or a little below maintenance. We're also going to use a 4-week focus block. So set short-term goals, reassess monthly, and tweak based on performance and energy. So after the 4-week focus block, you're going to see, did I grow using this program? Did I see any results from making sure that I dropped my calories below? And if you didn't, reevaluate what you've currently done and then do a little bit more research into what's going to work to progress for the next 4 weeks. We're also going to avoid goal hopping. So don't switch plans midweek. Progress comes from consistency, not trends. So if you're constantly jumping from one goal to the next goal, like one week you want to build a ton of muscle, but the other week you want to lose a bunch of body fat, you're not going to see consistent results because you're constantly changing for different goals. And what's going to happen is it's going to lead to plateaus or keep you in the same spot that you currently are at. So for our nutrition at this stage of commitments, our current roadblocks is that we're doing clean eating plus starting macro tracking. So this is pretty good. So some common issues that we might be running into at this stage might be no longer following extreme fat diets, but we're still unsure what smart nutrition really looks like. We also might be eating healthier overall, which is awesome, but meals aren't aligned with a specific goal, muscle gain or fat loss, something that we talked about previously. You also might be unsure how many calories you actually need or how to adjust them at this stage. Macros are inconsistent. Some days hit protein, other days forget entirely. And progress feels unpredictable because nutrition isn't measured or prioritized. So at this stage, we're still having a problem with tracking. We are tracking consistently, but we're not making a huge commitment to actually following through with hitting those said macros. So how do we fix this? In order to graduate, we need to build a simple, sustainable nutrition foundation based on your goal and track it consistently. So knowing your numbers equals knowing your results. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to set your nutrition targets. Use the SweatSphere macronutrient calculator to set your calories and protein based on your goal, whether it's to gain muscle or to lose fat. We're also going to follow meal templates. So use pre-made meal guides and grocery lists to simplify daily eating. We're also going to start tracking 5 days a week. So log your meals in the MyFitnessPal to stay consistent and aware. We're also going to master the 4 core meals. So choose 4 meals you enjoy, can prep easy, that hit your targets. Ratio them weekly. So we're not going to be eating 4 meals a day per se. If that doesn't work for you in your schedule, you can have a meal planned out for breakfast one day. You can have a meal planned out for maybe lunch the next day, and then maybe your dinner will be the third meal, and then you can start again with another different option for breakfast on the 4th day. Having those 4 core meals is going to help build consistency into your nutrition, and it's going to help you enjoy your food a lot more because these meals are going to be not only delicious but help you hit your macronutrient goals. And last, we're going to stay hydrated and add one habit. So we're going to drink half your body weight in ounces of water and stick to one simple food habit, like adding veggies. Now, if you're someone that hates veggies, you can do something like blending your veggies. Or another simple food habit could be something like adding a new healthy snack into your meal plan. All right, next is recovery. So at this stage, commit. We're doing active recovery once a week, but some common roadblocks that we might be running into are you understand that recovery is important, but your habits don't reflect it yet. So even though we know that it's important to be doing recovery, we still haven't committed to fully doing active recovery. Late nights and inconsistent sleep routines disrupt rest and energy. This is common for young people and middle-aged people alike because work might get in the way or you might be prepping for some tests. Rest days are skipped and filled with activities that don't allow you to recover. Some days you feel exhausted, other days jittery, no steady rhythm. So you're still not in a good flow. Progress is slow because your body isn't getting enough time to rebuild and grow. Because remember, we build muscle when we sleep. We produce our hormones when we sleep, and this is how we build more muscle tissue. We go to the gym, we stimulate growth, we come back and we rest and recover and we build the muscle that we just broke down. In order to make some growth, we actually have to prioritize a recovery. So what are some ways we can do that? In order to graduate, we need to create a consistent sleep routine and learn to program intentional rest into the week. What that looks like is prioritize sleep. Set a consistent bedtime and aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality rest every single night. We're also going to track our sleep and energy. So log your sleep and energy levels to spot recovery patterns. So make sure that you know what time you're going to bed and what time you're waking up and figure out when and how you're waking up. So maybe if you're waking up with an alarm, take a look at how your energy looks that day. Did you have less energy because you were forcefully woken up? Or on days that you let yourself wake up on your own, do you have more energy on those days? Take note of this, track it, and see what works best for you. We're also going to plan active recovery days. Schedule 1 to 2 rest days per week and log low-intensity recovery activities. You can do all of this inside of the SweatSphere logbooks. We have a spot where you can log your active recovery on the days that you're not training. You're also going to follow a training split, so stick to your SweatSphere workout plan and let your rest days do their job. So make sure that you're not overtraining because you might think more will give you more, but when it comes to the fitness world, training in the gym is only going to stimulate growth, and to a point, it's actually doing more harm than good. Don't take that out of context though. So when I say you need to train hard, you need to get enough stimulus for your muscle to get bigger. That being said, it's very easy to overtrain and do too much volume and not have enough recovery to the point where you're not able to recover your muscles and let them grow back stronger before you stimulate more growth. We're also going to refuel right, so eat within 60 minutes post-workout and stay hydrated with water and electrolytes daily. Some common roadblocks with our tracking and tools at stage 2 commit is that we're tracking our workouts weekly. So again, you've got your tools, apps, logbooks, or spreadsheet, but rarely use them. Workouts go unlogged, weights aren't tracked, and details are forgotten. Measurements and progress photos are skipped or done inconsistently. Progress feels unclear because there's no visual or written record. Without tracking, motivation fades and you can't improve what you can't see. So it's really, really important that you are tracking consistently. And if you are doing these mistakes, it's okay. We're still at level 2, but we want to graduate to level 3. So how do we do that? In order to graduate, we need to build the habit of consistent daily tracking for workouts, nutrition, and recovery. We're going to choose one tracker, pick one logbook or app, and stick with it for consistency. So if that means that you have the Sweatsphere Fitness logbook, or if that means that you're tracking your workouts through MyFitnessPal, which is a little tedious to do, so I'd recommend getting the logbook. Make sure that you're tracking in it consistently, because consistency is key. And just like we talked about before, if you're not tracking, how are you going to see progress? We're going to log workouts right after. So record sets, reps, and weights immediately after training. So that doesn't mean when you get home and just go on your phone. It means write it down somewhere after you're done with the actual set during your rest period. Use a daily habit scorecard. So monitor hydration, sleep, mood, and soreness in a simple and fun way. You can do this using the Sweatsphere workout logbooks, or you can use the Google spreadsheet that you get when you join the Sweatsphere Fitness community. And this will keep you motivated and have a fun way for you to have all your information all in one place. And last but not least, we're going to reflect weekly. So review your wins, challenges, and one thing to adjust for next week. So whether that means drinking more water, maybe that means switching a meal out. Find one way that you can progress each week. Our mindset at level 2, which is commitments. We might be feeling hopeful and energized. However, some common roadblocks you might be running into with your mindset is that you've taken the first steps, but you're unsure if you can keep the momentum. Old habits and routines start pulling you back when things get hard. Self-doubt creeps in. What if I fall off again? Inconsistency starts showing up in workouts, meals, and mindset, and progress feels fragile, like one bad week could undo it all. And that might be the case when you're just starting off, and that's perfectly fine. Because again, at this stage, it's not about finding out what's the most optimal for you. It's finding out what you can commit to. That's why at this level, we're all about commitment to yourself, to your health, and to your fitness. So in order to graduate, the spark is there, but the flame is flickering. You've made a commitment, but self-doubt, old habits, and inconsistency try to creep in. Build belief through action. So how do we do this? It might feel so simple, but we need steps to take action so we can actually feel better. So what we're going to do is we're going to build evidence with small wins. Focus on consistent actions like hitting a workout or protein goal. This builds real momentum. We're also going to reframe the journey. So shift your mindset from how far you have to go to how far you've come already. So even though progress might feel slow, you're still doing better than people who haven't even started their fitness journeys. We're going to anchor to the purpose. So we're going to identify your deeper reason for doing this and keep it front and center. So making sure that our core value or the core reason that we're even trying to get healthy or trying to have our fitness goals in the first place, we're going to keep that front and center of our motivation and remind ourselves why. We're also going to expect setbacks and we're going to plan for comebacks. Bad days happen. What matters most is how quickly you bounce back. So it's okay to have a bad day here and there. It's okay to have a bad week here and there. But identifying as, oh, I fell off my whole fitness journey because I had one bad week doesn't mean that you have to quit and just give up on your health entirely. Make sure that you plan how to come back even stronger and use those setbacks as motivation to keep seeing more progress or keep pushing forward. And you're also going to lean on the community. Share inside the sweat sphere because connections make consistency either. This goes back to finding that accountability partner. When you have someone that is motivating you just like you're motivating them, and you have a connection with someone with similar or even the same goal as you, it really will help keep you motivated to crush your goals week after week after week. Another thing that's not listed here is challenging yourself and challenging your mindset to become more resilient. And the easy way you can do this is by doing our fitness challenges that we have inside the school and on the website. So if you want to take a free day, free challenge where you get our emails sent directly to your email, going through how you can progress with your mindset, make sure you go and join one of those challenges right after you watch this video. All right, so the bottom line, show up like it matters because it does. Discipline is kicking in, you've got your goal. Now it's about building the routine, tracking the progress, and staying locked in even when motivation fades. Consistency turns effort into momentum. And that's going to be it for level 2 of the muscle building roadmap. Commit. Next time we'll be going over level 3, which is structure. We're going to be learning how to build our structure in order to focus on our specific goals. And we're also going to be talking about some common roadblocks that we might be having with that stage. But that's it for level 2, and I'll see you guys on level 3, structure.